Welcome to Climate Catalysts. I'm Chloe, and in this series, I ask leaders in the climate space 3 questions with an aim of providing you insight about what has driven these people's successes. Together, we also learn from these industry leaders how us young people can be proactive and make an impact as the climate continues to change. Today, I was really excited on Climate Catalyst to interview Patricia McKenzie, who is the chairman of AGL, one of Australia's largest energy providers. And she's also pretty significant in that she's only one of 21 women who are the chairman of an ASX 200 company. So out of 200 of the ASX's largest companies, there's only 21 women that actually chair them. And so today for me, it was really important that I ask her about her advice to young women on how to become leaders in large companies. But as well as that, I made sure to ask her about her journey, how she rose up to this really important position, and as well as that, what skills she's had to use to manage such a high profile board. Hi, Patricia. Thank you so much for joining me today in Climate Catalysts. First question, please. I was wondering if you could please tell us about your journey to becoming the chairman of AGL.
Well, thanks for inviting me on, Chloe. I graduated in law from Sydney University in 1977 when not a lot of women formed part of the cohort. And my first job was as the legal officer with, of all companies, AGL. And I found that I loved being part of a corporate team. And so I stayed with the company. I became head of the legal department. And then I decided it was time to move into management. So I moved into the mergers and acquisitions section of AGL. Had a great time there. It was so interesting and so dynamic. When I was in my 30s, I had 3 children and a couple of them had some health challenges. So I pulled back so I could manage my work-life balance a bit better. And I became a consultant in the energy industry, largely to AGL, and did a lot of work around market design, elements of regulation. And that led to the opportunity to become the CEO of Gas Market Company. GMC introduced competition into the gas industry in New South Wales and the ACT, and we were the market operator. I was CEO there for about 8 years. And towards the end of that time, the federal government asked the gas and electricity industries to make some changes to market design. One of those was that we needed to merge our market operators. And so we formed the Australian Energy Market Operator, AEMO. Gets a lot of press these days. I decided then that I would leave executive life and become a non-executive director, and I joined the board of AEMO. So that started me on the journey as a director. It's been a fantastic opportunity to work across multiple industries. So I've chaired companies in disability services, in diabetes, in e-health, and I currently chair companies in ports and in desalination plants. So a wonderful opportunity to be involved across multiple industries. But my core experience remains in the energy industry. And so during that time, I've also been on the boards of an electricity transmission operator. They're the big high poles and wires, and a coal-fired generator at Macquarie Generation. I chaired Essential Energy, which is the largest electricity distributor in New South Wales. And I was on the board of APA Group, which is an ASX-listed infrastructure company in gas. And towards the end of my tenure with APA, AGL was looking for a new director. And I thought, yeah, I can contribute to this board. I have some expertise to bring to it. So I joined the board in 2019. And last year, 2022, I stepped into the role as chair.
Definitely had a lot of experiences, Patricia.
Indeed.
So now I wanted to ask, you've precursored that, you've led lots of boards now as a non-executive. But my question is, particularly with AGL, it's a pretty high profile board. Like, what skills have you had to use to manage it and all these other roles that you also have?
Well, obviously, with AGL having a deep knowledge of the energy industry is a great skill to bring to the board. But I think that probably the most important skill as chair is the ability to bring out the best in others. So the thing I enjoy most, one of the things I enjoy most about chairing is the relationship you have with the CEO, managing director, and the executive team. And you need to be able to bring out the best in them, to get the best performance out of them so that the company will prosper. The same goes with the directors, where you need to be able to listen and understand where people are coming from, and you need to be able to guide the board towards a consensus decision. So those people skills, whilst they might sound soft skills, I think they're crucial particularly in a role like AGL, where there's been some very well publicised issues of late, and we've had a lot of matters to deal with. So I think that's very important. I think listening and learning is really important, and even now I learn every day from the people who I work with. So making sure that you are listening to what other people are saying is really important. And I think interacting with not only the company but the stakeholders, understanding where governments are coming from, where shareholders are coming from, listening to their issues, and ensuring that we all respond appropriately to those. They're probably the key things to chairing a company like AGL.
Oh, very interesting. Thank you for sharing that. Lastly, I wanted to ask you, so there's 21 women that are chairman of an ASX 200 company, so 200 of the biggest companies on the ASX, and you're one of them. So like my question is, it seems that like women are quite underrepresented as chairman, and so what advice would you perhaps give to a young girl that's watching right now that wants to become a leader like you in a major company?
Yeah. Firstly, find something you're passionate about. Because if you're passionate about what you're doing, then your enthusiasm and your commitment will lead to opportunities to be a leader in that industry. You need to find your voice. So you want to, whether you're in a meeting which is in the lowest levels of management, or you're sitting on the board of company directors, you need to understand how to make yourself be heard and how you want to interact. So you need to find that strong voice that allows you to put forward and advocate positions. And it's really important that you do find that. Sometimes it can be difficult, but it's very important that you find it, because famously, as the head of Microsoft wrote, you have to lean in. You have to lean into it. You have to, I think, put your hand up to be a leader. If you want to, one general once said, when given control, take control. Lean into the opportunities to become a leader, and then act decisively. Show that you can be a leader. And being a leader is bringing everyone along with you, not dictating from the top. It's making sure that you've brought the whole team along with you on whatever journey you're on and whatever decision-making you have. And understanding that there's no monopoly on knowledge. So listen to everybody, take the best ideas, run with those. Be authentic. You really need to be who you are. Don't try and be something else. Who you are is good enough. It's fine. Be who you are. And I think lastly, back yourself. Understand, you'll be a leader if you believe you can be a leader. People will see that in you. Put yourself forward for leadership positions. A mentor once said to me, a woman looks at a job description and thinks, I can do those 5 things, I can't do those 3, I won't apply. A man looks at it and looks at the 3 he can do and says, yeah, I'm in. I can't do the other 5, but that's okay. So back yourself into things. Be proud of who you are, and I think the leadership opportunities come.
Well, that's really great advice. Thank you so much, Patricia, for talking with me today.
Pleasure.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe to Dynamic Climate Now to stay informed and inspired by the dynamic intersection of climate change and business innovation.